Yeah, welcome to my channel. I should have went immediately last night, immediately online, just to show my overjoy and whatnot. I actually literally slept in this jersey. Um, but one of the things is basically, excuse me, my horse is a little coarse because my voice is a little coarse because screaming at the TV and whatnot, and basically, I'm just a happy camper. I mean, honestly, I was genuinely surprised more than anything else um, that the Knicks were losing in the fourth quarter by 20 points with 22 points with 7 minutes to go. I'm like, I had a feeling that the Knicks were going to be complacent against the Cavs. And that was my biggest fear, that they were going to be complacent because you could tell they were being sloppy the first. I mean, when they were tied and they were up in the second quarter and whatnot, and then by the end of the second quarter, by the half basically they were down. I was like, okay, they're playing sloppy ball a little bit. I mean, honestly, I thought they were gonna keep into it basically. I mean, I don't know. Put it this way, I don't know if it was a great collapse by the Cavs, or if the Knicks were that good that they came back, like that they were able to overcome this deficit. Because quite honestly, it could be a bit of both. I mean, the Knicks lockdown. A lot can be said about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the coach, basically, because the Knicks are on an 18-1 run. No timeouts at all with four timeouts remaining, and you don't take a timeout. That's kind of odd. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm glad that he didn't take a timeout, but I'm like kind of surprised. Like, no timeout at all. Like, you just let them go on that 44-11 run, basically. The other aspect is this is what we're fortunate about because Harden, defensive liability, good as offensively speaking, but on defensive liability, Brunson and him, the one on one, basically, you could see that Brunson was able to overtake him at that point, and that was great at that point. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that the coach did not switch Harden with someone else to put on Brunson at that point, because quite honestly, it was like a little surprising. Brunson going all out like that was mad impressive. I mean, again, if the Knicks get to the finals, I'm calling Brunson now tier one, but right now he's still tier one. He's on that level of getting to the tier one now. I still think he's the tier 1A, but he's getting close to the tier one. But fact of the matter is like I was afraid because like you could see Donovan Mitchell basically going all out, but then in the fourth quarter, practically the late second half, basically Mitchell not scoring. That's like really surprising. Practically, I mean, I thought for sure. I mean, it's like this is a guy that seems to choke in the playoffs, and same thing with Harden as well too. So like the fact of the matter is like I think we were lucky. So I don't know how Cleveland comes back from this. What their reaction is because like let's be honest, Cleveland they were coming from that 7 game series against Detroit, a very powerful Detroit team. Like I said, I would have preferred the Detroit Pistons over the Cavs because my fear was this is like Mobley as well as essentially Mitchell and Harden being a nuisance to the Knicks. But this shows that the Knicks have some resilience. At least that was good. At least the Knicks had some resilience in this aspect of coming back, like they did last year against the Celtics. And like if this proves anything historically speaking, that the Knicks might win the series and might go to the finals. But again, what can we expect to see in Game Two? Well, put it this way: Cleveland's going to come all out. You're going to see Donovan Mitchell just ball out at that point. Most likely, he's going to start shooting the ball more often in the fourth quarter versus Harden. Probably going to see Mitchell and Harden switch off at that point, and seeing Mitchell against Mitchell matched up against Brunson at that point. But fact of the matter is like it was a little surprising that how this had happened to a point where Cleveland's coach should have recognized it. He didn't. I think he's learning. He might have just been tired as well too. Quite honestly, that's another possibility. I don't know, like mentally tired from all the mistakes. I mean, or two, you could have been surprised, like, oh my god, I can't believe we're beating the Knicks. That could be a possibility too. But reality is, I think the Knicks were good enough to get to that over that hump. But I think also the fact of the matter is basically Cleveland basically pretty much choked at that point as well too, and I'm happy for that. Now, what should the Knicks do now? Because as I said in the prior games, in prior series and whatnot, I said basically if Brunson and Cat can score 20 and the X factor is Mikal Bridges can score 20, then the Knicks should have a high probability of winning. Because like if those three are scoring 20 points, and most likely OG is scoring 20 points at that point, or at least getting into the double digits for sure, high double digits, in the teens at least. Um, and seeing OG driving in was pretty good. Mitch Robinson, we're fortunate. The problem is like showing the weakness. Hack, you can do a hack a shack type of thing, even though it's kind of like preventative now. Like the NBA has created some rules from doing a hack a shack, but reality is you could probably do something of that nature against Mitchell. And reality is like the guy sucks horribly on the free throw lines, and you could tell that he knew that he can't do this. He's got to step up. But we might be fortunate to the point of like his deficiency will be picked up by everyone else at that point. And Shaman basically getting that 3 point at the last minute, I think we got very very lucky, quite honestly, because if he doesn't get that three and it doesn't fall in like the way it does, and Mitchell, or Mitch, whatever his name is, I forgot the white dude's name in Cleveland, where that ball would have went in and out. Basically, we got lucky in that situation as well, too. Quite honestly, so I'll say this: between what happened there and what's going to happen in Game Two, Brunson's probably going to do his normal 20 to 25 points to 30 points, whatever it may be. Uh, uh, Cat is going to have to score 20 points at that point as well and get his rebounds, but he's going to have to be that point forward again. Mikal Bridges has to step up again. I mean, he stepped up a little bit here and there, but he has to step up considerably at this point in the playoffs. He's doing that, but he has to step up considerably at this point. Put it this way: if they get to the final, that Rose trade for him basically for 5 first round draft picks might be wiped away clean, because like it might show it was probably worthwhile. I guess I don't know, but we'll see. If they win the finals, that is, if they win the finals, not if they go to the finals. If they win the finals, but here's the aspect that we got to look at, or the perspective. You're a Knicks, you're winning, you won the game, you stole the game away practically. You think you're that good, you think you're the tough shits basically at that point. You want to go all out. You're gonna like start trying to see if you can like blow out the Cleveland Cavaliers. From a Cavs perspective, you're like you just lost and you basically gave the game away basically at that point. You had a huge lead with 7 minutes to go, and all you had to do was just basically hold the ball, slow the game down, slow down the tempo, and you just basically gave them the ball. Basically, reality is I don't know how Cleveland's going to come out in Game Two, but you could see Donovan Mitchell going crazy at that point. The question is like I don't know what Harden's going to do, as Mobley's going to do at that point. They might like sleep this off and this basically progress on like they did with the Detroit Pistons. Who knows? I'm hoping that's not the case, and I hope the Knicks can win in 5. That's what I'm hoping for. It'd be nice if it's a sweep. It'd be better if it's a sweep, but I hope the Knicks can at least win in 5, maybe 6. But it all depends on like how complacent the Knicks are, and if they keep playing sloppy ball like the way they did in Game 1, we might not be so lucky in Game 2 and 3 basically at that point. So I don't know, but like I said, I think the Knicks should win in 5 for sure if Mikal Bridges scores those 20 at that point as well too. But with that, I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions or updates, or not updates, but if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section. With that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.